driving to the hospital right now, so I can't look at the video, but I absolutely need to record this because when I get there, I have to help my mom. So here's the deal. Bedside with Bebe, my mom can't really talk anymore. So I have the baton and I gotta say what I gotta say. So, more on the spirit of fear. The spirit of fear has been launched as an all-out attack on people. People are freaked out. They're gripped by it. People stay in their homes. We are afraid to step out and even introduce ourselves to people differently. We are afraid of people who vote differently from us. We're afraid of people who think differently, who believe differently, who act differently. And then we try to just surround ourselves with a bunch of people who look just like us. And it's absolutely counteractive and counterintuitive to what Jesus did and what he said, which Jesus was God in the flesh on earth, okay? So he came, and it said, and he loved everyone. He hung out with everyone. He did not isolate himself. He lived all out and among the people. And there are people who call themselves Christians who are using God's name in vain. That is using God's name in vain. It's not JC or GD, okay? It is saying that we are believers, and then we're not actually living the way Jesus did. And Jesus said that the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come that they would have life and have it abundantly. So, what does that look like? Well, abundant life is not being holed up, living in your little isolated community and not getting out and being in the thick of life on earth, which is messy, okay? And we've been hiding behind our walls, especially I think in America. Like, we have these front doors, and then these gates, and then these fences around our backyards, and we hide there and we hibernate. I have totally isolated myself after my son Ryan was born because I wanted to stare at him, but then I got weird because isolation makes us weird, and there's scripture about that, and I'll read it later, but I'm driving, so I cannot find that or read it right now. However, this in every generation, okay, first of all, back it up. Jesus knows that he's going to come back to gather his people to him, okay? He also said that the spirit of Antichrist has been unleashed in the earth. We, in this modern day, think that we actually have it worse. Oh, it's so much worse. You know, there's wars, and there's nuclear bombs, and there's, whatever, bomb on your chest, and there's, like all this stuff. There's drugs and rapes and all this stuff. It is no worse than when they used to chuck people in lions' dens, or chuck them into fires, or just, mass murder them all because a king didn't really like what he saw. Times have not changed. It is the enemy of our hearts. That would be Satan. He is the destroyer, who would want us to believe and be gripped by fear that today's day and age is any worse than it's ever been outside of God's presence, outside of knowing him, outside of us communing with him. And I don't know. I just know I'm supposed to share and expose that it's no worse. But with God, it says, if God is for us, who can be against us? And that no weapon formed against us can prosper. And that greater is he who is in us than he who is in the world. These are not just like nice lip service Christian platitudes. This is God's spoken, breathed word. It is truth, and it does not return void. And so if you are a Christian, especially, I'm talking to you right now, living in fear, you need to stop. And you need to trust that God's big and he knows what he's doing, because he already won. And if the worst thing is that you die, that's not the worst thing. That's what Satan wants us to think. So, that's all I got to say. I got to go. Bye.